Welcome everyone to Watch Your Story. I'm your host Emmanuel Mutui, and today we have a. How do I even describe today's guest? His we met maybe like maybe couple months when I moved here, and he just moved here. And I used to go to this studio to record my sermons. At the very beginnings of me trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do, and we met then, and he was helping me just figuring all that out, and which is kind of honestly what I did then is kind of what has brought me to now, like with the podcast that I'm doing, and also the simple word show that I'm doing on here too. It kind of started then, but at the time I was trying to figure it out. But I met him when I was trying to figure that out, and he was trying to figure that his stuff out because he just moved here. And I guess on one thing that I would say for me anyway that attracted me to him was his tenacity and his hunger and just how he wanted to do something. He was new to the city, but he knew I'm not just here to have a good time and look at the mountains. I'm here to do something great. And so that's kind of what honestly has kept us friends for all this time. We don't see each other every day. We don't talk all the time, but when we see each other, it's all love, it's respect. And when I was doing this podcast, as soon as I started, I was like, I know at one point I gotta get this man to come, but I gotta make sure everything is correct. I gotta make sure it's not just the one camera days with like 720. I gotta make sure like everything is good. And so this is honestly an honor for me to have him on my show. And later we're gonna do a bunch of stuff together. But for now, I just want us to just sit down with the man, the myth, the legend, Terry Josiah himself. What's up, CEO?
What's up, man? That's a great intro. I feel like I feel presidential right
Hey
now.
man, you got to man. I gotta
Yeah,
shower you with
love it.
praise.
I love it. This is
Yeah.
great. Thank you.
So
Thank you for having me.
thanks for coming through, bro. Like
Yeah,
this is
man.
honestly an honor for me to have you on the show. I know you're busy expanding your territory and all that, but you chose to come give me a good hour, to just
We
chop it
here,
up.
man. We here.
Yeah. So anyway, without further ado, let's just go back to the beginning like we always do. Where you from, bro?
All right, for sure. Um, well, again, thank you for having me on. My name is Terry Josiah Sharpe. Terry Josiah is one really long first name.
It is. Don't call him TJ neither. You
Yeah,
gotta say Terry Josiah.
yeah. No space, no hyphen. 11 letters, 5 syllables, the whole thing. Terry Josiah. But last name is Sharp, very simple to the point.
hmm
And so I'm originally from San Diego, California.
hmm
I grew up there pretty much my whole life, moved around a lot in Southern California from early age, infant, until about sixth grade when we really like landed in the heart of San Diego
Yeah.
or a suburb of San Diego. So originally from there, uh,
Yeah. So when you were in San Diego, young Terry Josiah, what did you want to do?
growing up, I've always wanted to do music,
Okay.
always. Um,
Where
I
did that come from?
My mom's a music director, and so it
Okay.
was just like innately there. And then you grow up and you see, and maybe this is a horrible word to use, but you idolize the people that are doing it, or people that you feel like you can kind of like be like. Um, so growing up and in California and seeing the way that the culture grew, and how the culture of music really like impacted society.
hmm
Uh, I understand like the power of music, and I feel like I understood it at an early age, doing music and being a part of whatever my mom was doing as a music director, as the MD of a church. I was always there. If the drummer didn't show up, I had to jump on the drums. If the secondary pianist didn't show up, I had to play keys. Um,
Wow.
and then I got to enjoy playing trumpet. So that was trumpet was my first instrument. Drums
Really?
was yeah, drums was like really like my second, but I call it my first because it was the one that I really like gravitated to. And then keys was out of necessity. And so yeah, so out of what we needed.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay, that's tight. So, I'll before you even continue, let me ask you this, and this is maybe jumping forward, but from what we're talking about, I think I gotta ask this: what is the one instrument that when you play, you just you just lost in the craft of it, and you just you can spend hours and it feels like minutes?
Uh, Probably vocals.
Okay.
Like it's another instrument, you know.
Yeah.
But being able to like when we have shows and I'm able to use my voice to really capture the audience and keep them where we want them to be. I have incredible musicians that I'm blessed to have in my network, and so when we do our live shows, I'm able to kind of like dictate where we go with the musicians, but using that to really encourage the direction for the live audience.
Okay. That's
Um,
awesome.
yeah,
So like
I
back,
enjoy playing keys though.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I always thought it would be keys, but
yeah,
I didn't. I'm surprised you said
yeah.
vocals because I kind of assumed it would be keys.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoy playing keys,
Yeah.
and really getting. I feel like maybe I'm like really in a good flow of vocals as opposed to good flow for keys right now.
Hmm.
I haven't been like practicing or playing as much,
Hmm.
but vocals I'm on often.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I get. And when we get to what you're doing now, we can expand on that.
absolutely.
So back to it to when you were a kid. I know you got many siblings.
Yeah, there's seven of us for
Yeah.
sure.
So, and what I've come to understand from like other big families, whenever they're that big, you always it's a hard time to find who you are because you're always comparing and competing and you never have time to find who you are yourself. Did you have to deal with that, or how did you?
Um, I never really looked at it as competing. I don't I've never tried to like compete for time or love or affection from the parents. Um, but in the sense of like understanding roles, that was where it was more like, oh, okay, what's my role? I'm the oldest boy, so and I have one sister who's older. So four kids, four boys, three girls. Sister is the oldest, so, and then me. So as the oldest boy, it's like, well, what is I have an older sibling, so I'm not the oldest, so I don't have the oldest responsibilities, which is fun, even though my sister are really close in age, so much that we call each other twins. Um, yeah, we're like 10 months apart,
Yeah. Oh
you
wow.
know? So not really, no, okay, I don't have the oldest role, but I'm the male. So is there significance in that? Is there, I gotta you know our
Yeah.
society is like it
Yeah.
has these like standards of what it is, what you're supposed to do as a male and
Yeah.
leader of the family or whatever. So I didn't know that,
Hmm.
and didn't know where my place was in that growing up.
Hmm.
What I did know was that music was my escape for everything. But I was kind of often told that I wasn't good. So, and not just that I wasn't good, but also that it wasn't a career. Like you couldn't make a career out of it.
Yeah.
And I think that that's just because maybe the people that were around me telling me that, family, parents,
Yeah.
friends, didn't really understand how to navigate this industry, in the way that I've been able to these last 15 years. So,
So let's get back to that because that's a huge thing. Like when your parents and people that are around you coming up when you're trying to figure out who you are, when they tell you that passion that you have is not good enough for you to feed you, what does that do to you? Like how did you either did you accept it?
I
Oh,
mean, it discourages everybody,
yeah.
and it plants the seeds of doubt as for anyone. I wasn't the anomaly. I wasn't like, oh, screw you, mom, I could do this, like, okay, great. It's not a career path. Fully understood. Um, and honestly, like, there was one thing that fully diverted my life, like, fully changed everything, the full direction of it. And if it weren't for that one thing, honest, I don't know where I would be right now because I felt like music was it, but I was told music wasn't it. So I knew that I was still a creative. And so my very next move was fashion, you know? And so did I have the passion for fashion? I'm not even trying to make that rhyme. Um, Absolutely not. Like passion. The Latin root word of passion is pati, which means to suffer. Am I willing to suffer for fashion? Not at all. But am I willing to suffer through and for music every day, all day? as much as I can, because like I love music, but I don't do music. I don't create music because I love it. I create it because I don't have any other outlet. I don't have any other way of releasing the emotions that I have inside. I don't have any other voice. Like music is my voice. And so, um, am I passionate about it? Absolutely. I'm willing to suffer and go through everything for it.
So when, because I mean, obviously you're always well dressed and whatnot, but I didn't. What did you do with
Hoodie and
fashion?
shorts, y'all.
Yeah.
Hoodie and shorts.
Hey man, it's not just the hoodie and shorts. It's how he dressed the hoodie and the
Yeah,
shorts.
that's true.
So what did you? How was fashion an outlet? What did you do with it?
So, not necessarily an outlet. I just thought that maybe it was a career choice. I knew that I was a creative
Okay.
and that I needed to find a career.
Yeah.
That was what I understood. I need you got to get a job. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you gotta
and
get
and
paid.
if music, there's no career in it, there's no monetizing, there's no job in it, from what I was told,
Hmm.
then okay, fashion can be it. At the time, like, and I'm dating myself right now, but back then, FUBU was like really hot.
Yeah.
FUBU was hot, and
Yeah.
there was this huge like East Coast West Coast like battle kind of thing, right?
Hmm.
With that, to me, in my mind, East Coast West Coast. I'm from the West Coast, so I'm like, all right, if it took four dudes to put it together in New York, surely it could just take one young whippersnapper from California to do it, right? So that's why I thought fashion was something that I could jump into, was because I just saw it happen. And these guys are wildly successful. They're doing something that's really dope. They created a great name. Um, so for me, it was like
Okay.
it was just like maybe another means that I can get my
Hmm.
creativity out there.
Yeah. So obviously, because I know you know part of your story, you go into the military. What was the decision making? Is it just because easy money, or was there something else?
Nah, so that was the thing that happened that changed everything for me.
Okay.
Okay, so graduated in June 2001. September 11th happened, 9/11. I didn't really have plans of joining the military. I'd done like ROTC my last semester of my senior year. I got in some trouble, so my parents forced me to do it. But I did it and had some like fun,
Yeah.
a fun understanding of what that was. Recruiters come around that like they always do, especially to the ROTC kids, and I got taken out and when played video games and drove in fancy cars and had dinners and all that kind of fun stuff with the recruiter. But I had no real intention of like joining the military. I took advantage of the situation that I was in. Um, so then 9/11 happens, and then it was like I felt like I was activated. And really in my mind, it's like, well, if somebody is out here threatening our freedoms, I have the privilege and honor of being able to fight for that. Not everybody has that, and I did. So the cool thing was that I just turned 18 on September 8th. So I didn't need the parent signature or
Yeah.
parental guide, nothing. Like I literally turned 18.
Hmm.
September 11th happened 3 days after my birthday. Uh, wasn't a fun celebration for my 18th. You know what I
Definitely
mean?
not.
Um,
Definitely not.
but I was able to use that and then join the military without really having like a parent sign. I joined 6 days later was my first day of basic training, September 17th.
Wow.
So it was like it really changed the entire trajectory like of
Yeah.
my life. I thought maybe I was gonna take a year off, like defer a year in out of school, out of high school, take a year off for college,
Hmm.
and then apply for a fashion school in Vegas. My grandparents lived in Vegas. I'd already talked to them about being out there for school. Everything looked like it would have worked out for me to do that. And then 9/11 happened, and
Hmm.
I felt like I wasn't really doing anything,
Yeah.
and that this allows me the time to learn more about myself and to really gain a stronger sense of discipline. So, and I've always been kind of like if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it person. Maybe there's a couple of small things throughout my entire life that maybe I didn't fall through with.
Maybe.
Uh,
We ain't
maybe,
judging. We're not
maybe.
judging.
But I've
Hmm.
always done my best my entire life. That
Yeah.
was what I was taught. Like,
Hmm.
be a man of your word.
Yeah.
Integrity is everything.
Hmm.
So, um,
I get
so
that.
in that, that's I was like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. I'm gonna join the military. I'm gonna serve 5 years,
Yeah.
and I'll sign up for 5 years.
Yeah. So you go in the military. And I'll ask this kind of cheesy question, but it's a good question. Give me like your top two memories and top bottom two worst times.
Wow, that's a great question. Uh, okay. Let's start with the dessert first.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, okay.
We're gonna go with the good. Top two memories. First memory that I thought was great was in the military everybody is the same. There's no standouts, there's no nothing. It's the military. Okay. Um, and as a creative, that's a difficult position to be put in.
Right.
Like my senior year of high school, I had braids. Like I had a very unique look about me. I'm Chamorro. Like our bloodline there's less than 300,000 of us in the world. So
Oh,
there's
right.
a there's a uniqueness. I'm saying that to say, like, I understand the uniqueness about me, but joining the military, they take all of that
Everything out.
away.
Hmm.
They take all of that away. So like first fun great memory is literally day one of the military. And the reason why I say that is like we're on this cattle truck. I'm holding a big old like I have a rucksack on my back. I'm holding like a dang, what are those bags called? The big green ones. I can't even think of the
Like
name.
sandbag kind of thing?
Nah. Just like it holds all of your gear. People use it for traveling. It's just a very typical standard military green bag. Can't
Okay.
think. It has a name. Can't remember
Okay.
the name right now.
Hmm.
Okay, holding that on the front, rucksack on the back, and I'm in this cattle truck lined up with everybody else who's getting ready to go day one of basic training. You got to
Yeah.
walk through, freaking get your shots, walk all the way through, and then you get to your barracks.
Yeah.
Okay, get to the barracks. We run all the way up. So we get into formation. Got to run all the way upstairs, drop everything off, and come right back down. Okay, get right back in formation. Great, too easy. I do that. I'm excited. I'm here because like I literally am like, yo, I get to fight for our freedoms. Like this is cool.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm excited. And then like I'm meeting other people who've got activated the same way I was. And so
Hmm.
we're all kind of in this very motivational state, right?
Yeah.
Um it's exciting. The exhilaration is at a high level. Okay. I run upstairs, I drop all my stuff. I remember running in and like I drop it, take my headgear off, throw it on the bed, and I'm like, "Psst, I made it. Like I'm here. This is crazy. Like let's go.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And then like just took that moment to like really sink it all in, let it all sink in and okay, boom, run back downstairs, run outside, stand in formation. Boom. I'm like, cool, I'm here. And then immediately, like, one of the drill sergeants runs right up to me, like, who are you? Like, and I'm like singled out. I'm like, yo, hold up. What is happening here?
Right.
And he singles me out of everybody, just starts going in. Um, your last name is Sharp, right?
Yeah.
Oh, your last name is Sharp. You ain't too sharp around here. From now on, we gonna call you Blunt because you about to get smoked. I'm like,
What did I do to
yo,
you?
what just happened?
Right.
And then come to find out, like I left my headgear upstairs. So everybody's
Oh.
outside, they all got their headgear on.
Yeah.
I'm the only one without headgear, so I singled myself out in that
Right.
moment. But again, that just really exciting to be able to, again, being a creative and having this uniqueness about you. I
Hmm.
don't intentionally do something to get singled out, but in
Yeah.
the things that I do, sometimes it happens, and in that moment it did, and so
Yeah.
it created a core memory
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah. That's funny.
One that was filled with exhilaration and all of the hype of getting into basic training, but then getting singled out immediate. Like it was like a movie scene.
Right.
Like now I'm literally like I gotta run in place, I gotta drop and do push-ups, I'm getting smoked. Like that's what a smoke session is called.
Oh.
When
Okay.
they immediately put you into a physical activity. So
Hmm.
you're doing push-ups, sit-ups, freaking running in place, overhead arm claps. Like you're and like
Oh.
they got me doing all sorts of stuff and like you ain't sharp no more from now, and they making an announcement from now on we call him Blunt because he getting smoked all the time. Like like all right, cool. So
Right. Okay.
um
That's dope. I
so
like
that
that.
was that was one of them.
Hmm.
I'd say another one, and I'm gonna pair this one as my second, was literally both times arriving back at home after Iraq tours.
Okay.
So, like making it back, the landing, like
Mm-hmm.
literally landing from the airplane, watching the plane wheels hit the ground,
Mm-hmm.
or feeling the plane wheels hit the ground, but watching it from outside, looking outside. Those were incredible moments. Like coming back, making it back from war.
Because not
Like
everybody did.
not everybody did. So those for sure the some of my
That's
top
awesome, man.
memories. Um, Bottom memories. Whew. Uh, I'll say my first one. There was this moment that I was kind of like dealing at very first time at my first duty station. So that like my first moment for being good is like my very first moment in the military period.
Yeah.
Um, but now I'm at like one of the bad moments is I'm at my first duty station. It was Germany, K Town, Kaiserslautern, um, and I'm at my like our barracks, right? Our very small. It's called Rhine Ordnance Barracks,
Okay.
ROB.
Okay.
And I'm there and I'm getting in like I'm not like really getting in trouble, but it's my first duty station. I'm trying to understand the lay of the land. Okay, and in doing that, like I'm dealing with what I feel is very direct racism from roommates, from seniors, like the people that are above me. And so I'm like not in a place that I can like my roommate, I can't go to him to talk. I don't have nobody to talk to. I'm in this brand new country all by myself. A majority of the unit had already gone to go training, so it's like really just like rear detachment, and like I don't have anybody. I didn't have anything, man. I'm dealing with very direct racism. I don't have anybody to talk to about it. My
Mm-hmm.
supervisor is racist. My roommate is racist. I talked to my lieutenant. He's like, deal with it. Like, not like deal with it, kind of like find ways of getting over it. You got to do better. I felt like my roommate was sabotaging me. The
Yeah.
military is all about like check on your battle buddies, right?
Mm-hmm.
But my roommate would like unplug my alarm. He would leave me in the morning to unplug my alarm and then leave me to go get information so that I'd get in trouble. So like I just felt like a lot of stuff was happening at me, and I wasn't really taking any control of my life. I was just kind of like getting moved,
Mm-hmm.
cycling
Yeah.
through, and I just had like this moment of like full breakdown of again not having anybody there. Like I remember this like clear as day, and I'm like I'm fully broken down just as a person, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically. It was the only thing I had going for me then. That was it.
That's it you got?
That's all
Wow.
I had. Um, but in every other way, like I felt like broken down, and it was just a moment that I had with myself. Like it's like one of those moments you're looking in the mirror at yourself and you're like, yo, you got to get through this. And like I wanted to break, like punch and break the mirror,
Mm-hmm.
and create like that the effect that I felt inside. I wanted to create it in the mirror.
Yeah.
But I wasn't allowed to. You know what I mean? Like I
Wow.
couldn't hit no mirrors,
Because
couldn't
they'll
break
charge you.
nothing, or else now I'm in trouble again.
Yeah.
So so I just had to hold that within, but I just remember that
Man.
moment and looking at myself in the mirror like, yo, you got to
Mm-hmm.
get through this. Like
Yeah.
this is the lowest moment of my life from
Mm-hmm.
what I believed.
Wow.
Push through,
That's awesome, man.
you know,
I'm glad you pushed through.
for sure. We
Yeah.
ain't got no choice,
Right?
you
Right.
know. Second one I would say would definitely be a wartime type of situation. Um, I got hit with an IED, woke up in the hospital a few days later. But it wasn't necessarily for me that was like a really horrible moment. It was for my family because they had called my family on the first day that I got hit, but didn't update them and give them any idea of what happened to me afterwards. Um, and so that's like a just to like kind of sustain, keep them in suspense for
Wow.
3 or 4 days. Was pretty horrible on
Yeah.
on their mental fortitude.
Mm-hmm.
So uh,
Wow. That's kind of, they dropped the ball big time on that one.
big time, and like they apologize so much, and like
That's
there's
the least you could
no,
do.
yeah, ain't
It's
really
an
no
email.
apology for that or a phone call like that.
Yeah.
And you have the numbers, you have everything. So
Yeah.
they called my mom, let her know that I was hit, didn't know the status of me, and then
Wow.
didn't call back.
Wow. That's
for 4, and they didn't call back. Like I called and updated my mom. I was like, hey, and she when I called her, she like broke down. It's like
right, because she maybe
like
thought,
my mom called me TJ. Okay,
okay,
okay.
calling your
And
mom ain't
she
cute.
yeah, TJ, and like she's like TJ, that's you, and like broke down on the phone. I
Hmm.
could hear it. I'm like, yo, like what's up, like,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
she's like, well, they called me, a few days ago and said that you had got hit, but I haven't heard anything since. So like,
You thought the worst.
and I'm yeah, so,
Man.
and then another time, like, and this had nothing to do with my unit or what my people did. Another time, like, my mom pulled up to the house, and she couldn't get out the car because there was that black van, that military black van sitting in front, and like the people were out standing in front of the door, a couple of people, like, and that usually only means one thing when your
Hmm.
family's at war. And she pulled up to the house, saw that, and couldn't get out, broke down in the car. Um,
Why were they there?
and then it was messed up. They were going to the neighbors.
Wow.
Horrible situation.
Wow.
Horrible situation.
Hmm.
All the way around. But they were
Yeah.
going to the neighbors, but they were literally at
Hmm.
our house, knocking
Wow.
on the door, but they were looking for the neighbor. So
Wow. I mean, thank God you're still here.
thank God.
So I know from our conversations in the past that day really shifted how you viewed life.
Yeah.
How would you say, for the people who don't know, how would you explain that?
And I wouldn't say just that specific day. I think just the whole. So when you're at war, and okay, so not everybody that goes to war deals with like the real war side.
Hmm.
Okay. I was it's weird to even say that because like I was blessed enough. Like I don't know
Yeah.
what the word is for. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's blessed, lucky. I have no idea.
Hmm.
But I was put in a situation where, like I was in it. I was in it. I was part of the Battle of Fallujah. That's in the history books right now. Like
Yeah.
we were in it. Um, and so in that, when you're in it like that, um, like it's a everyday thing, like a everyday, like, okay, what's gonna happen,
Yeah.
like something's gonna happen, but like
Hmm.
what, and like the level of edge that you're on is like your senses are heightened, your awareness is up, like you're really fully aware of every single thing that's happening, you're attentive, you're very intentional about what you're doing, how you're doing it, where you're looking. And I think that level of, and it sucks because like I feel like I'm kind of I get like that still every now and then. But that level of like heightened senses is it's tough because like you don't know what's gonna happen and you're expecting the worst in every moment. That's a hard way to live if every day you're expecting somebody's
Yeah.
gonna die,
Hmm.
you know,
Wow.
somebody's gonna get hurt, and something is gonna happen, and so I think that when you live like that, and I did 2 years back to back from '04 to '05, '05 to '06, um, and with like a 6 month break in between. So like March '04 to March '05, 6 month break, like
Hmm.
November '06 to November '07. I'm sorry, November '05 to November '06. Sorry. Um, so like that little 6 month, 7 month window, kind of like not having that heightened sense of
Yeah.
self, but still very much because I'm coming from that.
Hmm.
That was my regular routine every day. And then 6 months, I'm still kind of in it. I'm still around the military, and then another year long, 365 days with a 2 week break in between.
Yeah.
Same heightened sense of
Wow.
self and all of that. So it was really like 2.5 years of my life were kind of like at that level. But then when you get back and you get done, you're not, that level doesn't drop
Yeah. Just because war is over.
because now, and war isn't over, right?
Yeah.
Like war is just not here in this battle, like in this front,
Yeah.
so not really finding ways of losing that. I had to figure out where my balance was.
Okay.
And so in that, it was how do you find balance? How do you not get so high and not get so low and just
Hmm.
even across everything?
Yeah.
Um,
What did you do to help?
yeah, I started like kind of like researching and trying to figure out what works for a lot of people.
Hmm.
And Deepak Chopra really used gratitude as the key,
Okay.
and then you start researching gratitude, and you find, like, I don't want to say every successful person, but like every successful person, gratitude is the foundation of what they do. And so, and not because gratitude brings you things, but because gratitude makes what you have enough every time.
Being content to where you are.
And like content is
Mm-hmm.
is to and that's very difficult. I'm glad that you said that, because content is parallel to complacent.
Yeah.
And in the military, the mindset is complacency kills.
Okay. Yeah.
The moment you get settled down thinking that
Mm-hmm.
you're good at war is when, and this is literally exactly what I saw. The moment you think everything is good and you can let your guard down, it's when a sniper shoots your lieutenant right in the neck in front of you.
Yeah.
Like, and you're on the roof and you tell the lieutenant, "Hey, put your neck strap on, man. There's snipers around here."
Mm-hmm.
Come on, guys. I'll put it on, guys.
Yeah. And then
And then, boom,
that's it.
drops. The crazy thing is, I really believed he lived, but he got hit right in the neck. Um,
Wow.
Wild situation.
Wow.
So it's like, complacency kills, and
Mm-hmm.
if gratitude is finding contentment,
Mm-hmm.
when I initially read that, that's finding complacency,
Yeah.
and that's anti what I'm about and who I
Right.
am.
Yeah.
So I really had to like create my own understanding of what gratitude meant for me.
Okay.
Because if gratitude is the key,
Mm-hmm.
then how do I use it while still maintaining my awareness levels?
Mm-hmm.
So I just had to find that balance. And I felt like I feel like I did a really good job of fine tuning gratitude for me.
Yeah.
Instead of it being contentment,
Mm-hmm.
it really is just the virtue that unlocks
Yeah.
happiness.
Yeah. Wow. That's powerful, bro.
So I'm not on the search for happiness,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's where our Constitution got it wrong.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be a pursuit.
Yeah.
There should never be a pursuit of happiness.
Mm-hmm.
Happiness should be on autopilot. That shouldn't be something that we're trying to achieve. It should be something that we should have anytime, all the time.
Yeah.
And because that doesn't necessarily breed contentment, it just allows you to appreciate the things that you have in the moment.
Well said. That's well said.
So,
So wow, you have this moment of self revelation about being just being gratitude and all. You get out the military. What makes you? Obviously, music is your heartbeat. I know.
yeah.
I know it's never left you. How did you decide to get back in it? And this time, like, forget you naysayers who tell me
Yep,
music is not the way.
absolutely. That's a great question.
Yeah.
I love that. So I get out the military. I realize that gratitude is it in the military, but I don't really cultivate it in full just yet. Like, not like as a full way of life, but I understand during like the tail end of my last tour, and actually transitioning out of the military, that gratitude was my key. Um, Okay, so get out the military. When I first joined, I didn't ask for a signing bonus. They were giving out signing bonuses because it was 9/11. We're recruiting. We want people to join the military.
Hmm.
People are attacking us. I didn't ask for that. I asked for college money, and I asked for an excess. Like, fool, I need anything that you got for college money. I
Give it
want
to
it. Don't give me nothing right now.
I
Don't
want it
give me.
all.
I want it all for college. Everything. And they were like, okay, cool. And they signed me up for a few different things, which was really dope, because now I get out the military, and I take like a year off, a full year. I said, I'm taking
Chill.
some time.
Yes.
I stacked up. I had 2.5 years of at war, so I had some money saved up. I had no bills then,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
so
Great.
so I was able to really take that year off. I got out in '07. And during that year, I kind of like assessed the colleges and looked at what I needed to do to really start getting back into it. Ended up getting a job just to make some money. So I went into car sales. I worked for
Okay.
Toyota Lexus.
Okay. Okay.
And that was so much fun. I got like rookie of the month. When I
Shoot.
first got in, I sold like 11 cars. Month one, it was crazy. Like, I
Shoot.
did really well, but only did it for 3 months, and then went to school.
Okay.
So I did it for 3 months. It was a lot of fun. I thought, in another life, maybe I could really do this, but like it's too much time away for like to do anything. You can't do anything. You make good money, you can't spend it nowhere.
Oh wow.
So I knew I was gonna go to school, and so okay, cool. As soon as I started school, I'm done here.
Yeah.
So went to school. When I did school, you do an assessment test. It's like, hey, what do you want to do? What do you like?
Yeah.
Um, and I've always, again, music was it. Even when I was in the military, I'm finding, rap battle ciphers and finding people that make music and
Yeah.
recording in barracks and, having fun, but not doing anything that I thought would be a real career move.
Yeah. Hmm.
Right. So, uh, school's like, what do you like doing? I do the assessment test. They're like, oh, well, it looks like writing and music is what you can do. And so I'm like, what do you mean music? I had no idea music was a degree. I'd been out of school,
Yeah.
since 2001 when I graduated. And to be fair, I probably didn't take high school as serious as I could have.
You just showed
Right?
up.
It just showed up sometimes. Uh, uh,
Sometimes.
I wasn't a bad kid, but I wasn't a good kid. You know
Yeah,
what I
I
mean?
got you.
I just played the fence, yo.
Yeah, I got you.
Um, so then they say like, yeah, like you can major in music, you can major in different types of music in different lanes, and I'm like, yo, this is it. I'm like, what do you? I didn't understand in that moment. I was like, what was my mom talking about?
Right.
This ain't a career. Like it's absolute. You can make if you can major in it, it's a career.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. That don't. Here's the thing too. That don't mean that you make a career out of what you major in.
True. I
Okay.
got what you mean. That's a very good distinction right
Okay,
there.
like let's be very clear.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that you make a career out of what you major in, but if there is a major for it, there's a career for it.
That's wow. I love it.
Absolutely.
That's the statement of the interview right there.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, cool. Let me get that music degree.
Right.
let
I
me
want it
let me
all.
run that. I want it all. Let me
Yeah.
run it. And I wanted the full college experience. I'm a veteran. I'm a combat veteran.
Yeah.
I got some weight behind me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, shoot.
I'm enjoying. I'm doing my best to live. Grateful, but like again, not necessarily grateful, but more in the sense of just enjoying life.
Yeah.
And all the pleasures that life has to offer. Okay,
Hmm.
so sophomore year in college, I'm double majoring in creative writing and music history.
Okay.
Okay, so sophomore year of college, one of my music professors is like, hey, you should do a song with the class, and there's this place that I want to submit it to. I'm like, cool. I have no idea what that means. All I know is like I get to make a song with the class.
Yeah.
Fire.
Okay.
Write the song. Instead of recording it at the school, professor has us go to his house. He outfitted his garage into a full-blown studio. It was
Oh
dope.
man.
Maybe like 8 of us students went over there, something like a small group. We all went to the house, freaking recorded the song. Everything was so much fun, so dope, great experience.
Right.
It was kind of like my first executive producing a
Okay.
project.
Hmm.
Wrote the song, helped put the arrangement together, the chord progressions, like everything.
Okay.
And then like the students were the choir. Okay, a lot of fun.
Okay.
Um, Teacher's like, cool, song is done. Teacher helped me with the mixing and all of that. I had a good understanding of it. I did my best, and then he kind of like polished it up. Um, and then submits it. Okay, I don't know, maybe a month later or something. He's like, hey, we found out from that submission. So it looks like you won Texas College Songwriter of the Year. And I'm like,
What?
wait, what? Like I have no idea. I didn't know what it was for.
Yeah. You just having a
I'm
blast.
just enjoying the process. So I do that. I win. In I think it was 2010, my sophomore year, Texas College Songwriter of the Year. Have this big banquet. I get my little plaque.
Yeah.
It was great. It was a
Yeah.
lot of fun, and a great experience. And then that got eyes on me. Now it's like, oh, well, who's this kid coming out of Texas?
Hmm.
So some eyes were looking at me. I was able to have a couple of meetings with some major record labels, some independent record labels, and now I'm like, not
Okay.
only is this a career,
You making some
like
money.
I'm already starting it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and I'm starting it while I'm in school, and again, I worked the system with the military well enough so that they didn't pay for my school back then. I paid for my school. However, they paid me every month to go to school. So I got paid. That's what I'm saying. Like I added as much money as possible.
Okay.
I got paid more than when I was active duty.
Oh my goodness.
You know, so like I put myself. It was like an
You
alley oop
took
to
care of
myself.
yourself.
Yeah, it's alley oop, self alley oop off the backboard. You know, I'm coming in
LeBron
under the
dunk.
You know, I'm setting myself up for success in this situation
Wow.
without really understanding that. Okay, I just knew that if I get more money for college, that's gonna help me
Yeah.
later. Okay, so boom, I didn't even know how it was gonna help me, but now I'm getting paid every month. You know, every month that I'm in school. You
Yeah.
know, so now I'm like, okay, cool. I also had the goal of doing school in 4 years. You know, like that's a tall task,
It
especially
is.
when you one just period.
Yeah.
But then when you have to add like doing remedial classes, and I'm out of school for 7 years, so I had to take a few classes that
Hmm.
took the whole semester for me to catch up to the level of reading, writing, and arithmetic that I needed to be at.
Man.
You know, so when I say I did 4 years straight, like I did 4 years straight, I think I literally in the 4 years I only took one summer off. So I did fall. Um, there's like a wintermester, which is only 2 weeks long.
I never heard of that.
Wintermester is 2 weeks long, but I you go every day for like 4 hours,
Wow.
and that's one class. So I would do two classes in the wintermester. So fall, wintermester, spring, summer. And like summer was just as intense as the winter semester, so you could do like a summer semester kind of thing.
Hmm.
And so I took as many classes as often as I could, and started in 2008, graduated
At
in
least you're making money
2012.
when every
And I'm
time you go
making
to school.
exactly, and I'm making money, but I have to take out loans to pay for the college because I don't want to use. I was a knucklehead. I didn't want to use the money for the college. I wanted to use the money for living. You know what I mean? So I had the
Yeah.
nice apartment. I had the really nice ride with the big rims and the sound system and the whole, and the clothes and the Jordans and the whole thing. So I'm stunting as a habit in college, right? I'm one of the only juniors with his own spot.
Yeah.
So only
Wow.
sophomores. I was a sophomore and I had my own spot. But in
Man.
in doing that, it was like knucklehead
Yeah. Hey.
knucklehead mentality.
Hmm.
Okay, um, didn't help my quality of living at all.
Does not sound like it at all.
Okay. However, it was stunting as a habit. I get
Yeah.
to I get to really have fun
Yeah.
and enjoy
Hmm.
try and practice this gratitude and enjoy what life has to offer.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
A little too much.
a little too much. By my senior year of college, I looked back on the last like 3 years, 3.5 years, and was like, yo, like I need to stop. I need to stop like enjoying the pleasantries so
Hmm.
much. Um, I don't really talk about this, but people that know me
Yeah.
know this.
Hmm.
During that time, I don't talk about it publicly, okay?
Okay.
But people that know me personally know this about me, so you know this. But during that time, that 4 year span, it was really like a 5 year span because getting out of the military, taking that year off, getting into college, 5 years, I had 4 kids. And so that's when I stopped my senior year and was like, yo, uh,
Papa was
WTF am
a
I doing?
Rolling Stone.
Yeah, wherever he laid his head was his home. And
And
when
we
he died, yeah, so I really had to like look back and like assess like what I was
yeah.
doing and kind of like understand where that piece of me needed to be fixed, because what am I searching for in all of this navigation path?
Yep. Yep. That's a
Right?
good way to put it.
Um so senior year, I really got to focus on me. I actually kind of like recommitted myself, back to the Lord,
Hmm.
and find like my purpose.
Yeah.
Did I find my purpose then? Probably not, but
Probably
I
got like a
started the
nugget.
journey,
Yeah.
of like, okay, self search. Why am I? It was like the moment it was my moment that I realized it was like, oh, I matured. That
Yeah.
for
Hmm.
plain conversation purposes,
Hmm.
right? Or for basic conversation purposes, I matured. But I really looked back and was like, all right, cool. chill, homie.
Yeah.
Like, get your life together.
Calm down.
In the military, always say, get your shit together. But then they're
Yeah.
like, oh, you can't cuss, so get your poop in a group. Um, so I had to get my poop in a group. I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, what is going on with my life? What am I doing? How am I assessing it? And so, okay, rededicating my life to that self search and to higher power.
Yeah.
Something is greater than me. I am not God.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so did that. It was great. My senior year, so when I won College Songwriter of the Year, that ended up getting me looked at by different things. I ended up signing with an independent record label. I felt like a major would take me out of school. I've committed to school, so I'm sticking here. I didn't want to leave, so something that was kind of like local in the area. There was a
Yeah.
really dope independent record label that I was able to be a part of. I signed with them 2 years. It was incredible. Sophomore year and junior year was really when I was like in the crux of it with them. I got to work with members of Bone Thugs and Harmony. I got to work with
Wow.
Mac Miller's team, rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I got to do some really fun stuff like behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I ended up doing a song with Trey the Truth. He's a
Wow.
Houston legend.
Yeah.
That was like, I was like, oh, I made it! Like, here's the pinnacle. Um, and in my senior year, while I'm still kind of like I transitioned out of the independent record label, it was a great time. I learned the behind the scenes. I thought I wanted to be a front man. They were like, nah, buddy, you ain't ready. They shelved me. You know what I mean?
That's
I
fair.
I had no music released with just me.
Yeah.
During that whole 2 years, which was perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
It was what I needed. But I was mad at the time. You
Yeah. It was
know,
like, come
like,
on,
where's
man.
my music? But I learned so much, and in learning, like, I was able to build a strong network.
Yeah.
So finishing school, my senior year, I'm making good money with the military, paying for college or paying me to go to college. I'm making good money in music now, and so I'm like, cool, graduate. I have some issues back at home in California. I'm gonna move back home
Mm-hmm.
and deal with all of those while still trying to figure out what's happening with the kids that I'm having right now.
Yeah.
Um, it was just a lot
It's a lot.
going on. I didn't feel like nobody had my back where I was at, with the exception of like the church that I ended up getting into, which was really special. Um, but it was just there was so much
Oh yeah.
into, one of my kids' moms went to the same church, so I created a really bad environment
Mm-hmm.
for myself,
Mm-hmm.
and I needed to fully get out of that. Plus, things were happening with my family back at home, so I need to
Mm-hmm.
go take care of that. So, graduate college, move back home. Now, this is where like things kind of get tricky with the music industry because I feel like I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I could build my own business in California, kickstart everything, and build my own thing up, and I do just that. But the what ended up happening was before I actually built my business, I'm like making money, contract work, songwriting, hook writing, things like that. And the industry wants one thing really, and that's like I won't say one thing specifically, but like if you just like you look at media, what we hear is 90% bad, 10% good. So 90% of what we hear on
Yeah.
the news is horrible.
Yeah.
90% of what we hear on the radio is horrible.
Mm-hmm.
But that 90% was the checks. And so that's
Yeah.
what I'm writing. That's the type of stuff that I'm writing.
Mm-hmm.
And where I was at and aligning myself with, like, I couldn't write like that anymore.
Yeah.
But I can't just change it up without letting the people that are investing into me
Mm-hmm.
know that.
Yeah.
Like, hey guys, so I had to put out a message to 25 plus people that I'm working with. Hey y'all, like, everything's gonna sound the same sonically. Some dope harmonies. That's what a lot of people came to me for, was the vocal arrangement. Um, but my content is gonna change. Like, the messaging is gonna change. I gotta change my words. I can't say some of the same thing. I'm not talking about money, cars, clothes, hoes, all of that stuff. Like, not the facade. I gotta find some depth. And I lost a lot of it. I lost
Wow.
I lost just about everything, from that, by saying that, sending one message out. Like, I lost everything, and I'm talking like one day to the next. My wife now has seen it because she's been with me since then.
Mm-hmm.
She's seen me making money by writing hooks for people, writing songs for people,
Yeah.
songs getting placed with people that you ain't never heard of, but it's sending me, $3,500 residual checks periodically. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
Yeah.
and just like, okay, cool, like, money is coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, to like literally nothing, like no contracts, no, oh, you can't write about this, cool, we're not working with you.
Wow, just
And
cold turkey.
cold turkey cut off. It was, and I felt like from one day to the next, I sent that message out. The very next day, the music industry turned its back on me, like in full. So then it's like, well, dang, what can you do now? You
Yeah.
know, like maybe there is no career in this,
Yeah.
right? Dang, mom, you were right. Uh, so now it's like, all right, cool. How can I do? How can I innovate myself to still make a living off of what I love doing? Like I can't stop doing
Yeah.
music. I done got this great taste of it for the last 5, 6 years.
Yeah.
You think I'm supposed to stop now? Yeah, right.
I'm gonna make my own lane.
I'm gonna make my own way, you know. And so what I realized is everybody still needs a voice. Not needs. Everybody still has a voice, but the people that want to share their voice, they need a way to share it. And so how can you help people share their voice? So what I ended up doing, I started my company in California, Music Life Change. It was beautiful. That was really where like gratitude took
Okay.
took form. Okay, cool. Music industry, you done with me? Let me build on my own foundation.
Okay.
Gratitude was my foundation. I worked with the city of San Diego. We ended up getting World Gratitude Day proclamation, like full proclaimed in San Diego, September 21st, 2016, I think. 2016.
Okay.
From this day henceforth shall be known as World Gratitude Day, put
Okay.
on by TerryJosiah Sharpe and Music Life Change. And that was, to me, that was everything I needed. And that
Yeah.
was at the beginning of my journey. Like I'd moved back home, you know, started a business that didn't work out right. I partnered with other people. Then I created my own, still dealing with family stuff, and then built my business. And the way that I did it was, the way I made money really was, I started doing jingles.
Yep. That's why I made you doing that. Yep.
Jingles and what I called back then songs for a cause, which I currently call impact anthems. And we
Okay.
partner with nonprofit organizations and we write songs to raise awareness for those causes.
Okay.
And again, impact anthems. So it's been really
Okay.
dope and special
Yeah.
to be able to do that. And then what happened was, in doing that in San Diego, people in Colorado saw what I was doing and asked my wife and I to come out here and do what I'm doing, but out here. And so they brought us 4 different times from 2016 to 2017.
Okay.
At the end of 2016 to 2017, said, "We love what you're doing. World Gratitude Day is amazing. Like what are you doing? Like what are you doing?
Yeah.
And how are you using music to really create impact?" And so that ended up landing us out here for a year. We got courted. Every time we came out, it was for about a week, and
Yeah.
I'm put in meetings every single day. I'm meeting all different types of people, multiple meetings every day.
Wow.
And then the final trip, I did a really big show at the Broadmoor. 800 of the city's dignitaries, partnered with a few of the really high end organizations out here. And after that show, I was like, "Yeah, I think we can move here. I
could do
think
some.
we can move here." And this is a
Right.
year, literally a year later from the very first time I came out here on a trip.
Wow.
So now I've been
That's
here.
tight.
Yep, now I've been here for 5 years.
And you built. I mean, you started again. Kind of. You built a new label.
Dissolved my company back from California, restarted everything out here. I feel like I didn't want to pay California taxes
Oh nah.
on
Nobody
a
wants
company
that.
that doesn't live in California, you
Yeah.
know. So restart everything here, complete different name, full, not even a rebrand, just a completely different direction from what I was doing before.
Yeah.
Because before I wasn't necessarily working with artists and developing their voices.
Yeah.
I was working with organizations and developing theirs. And we do that through like audio, you know,
Yeah.
song making, songwriting, audio type of marketing, like all of that stuff, jingles, all of that. So
So it's because we're coming to an end here, and we've never started talking about Anthem.
I know.
That's like crazy. That we have to do a part two. Like,
Yes.
I think that's agreed. We just gotta set a date and
Love
do
it.
it. But let's do it like this though. Give me like an overview of Anthem, your
Yeah.
heartbeat for Anthem, and where you see yourself.
For sure. Okay, so the overview, again, got courted to the city and asked to bring pretty much like the music here.
Yeah.
I didn't understand what that meant. Coming out here, I fully understand it's not necessarily bringing a music scene. The music scene is already here.
Yeah.
It really is bringing the music industry here. And what that really means is creating an economic ecosystem for creatives, for musicians, for artists, so that
Okay.
they understand that they can actually live this life, right?
Okay.
Everybody wants to, but not everybody can. A lot of people have day jobs, or they're truckers, or they're bartenders, or they're financial planners, or they're doing other things outside of just music. I also always encourage like multiple streams of revenue, always, everywhere. So do those things, and if you have time to do music, great, do that. Or if really music is everything that you love, like do music, and if you have time to do those other things, perfect. um,
Well said. Well said.
so so in that, it was like, okay, how can we create this? And so that's Anthem turns 4 next month, and that's literally what I've been creating, is the economic ecosystem for artists, creatives, musicians, videographers, photographers, podcasters, like all of that. Last year, we were able to give $30,000 away to independent creators, which I thought was really beautiful. This year, we're doing the same thing, giving a little bit more, but the goal is always to show that you can do what you love doing. When you do what you love doing, that impacts your family. When that impacts your family, that impacts your neighbors. When it impacts your neighbors, it impacts your community.
There
When
you
it
go.
impacts your community, it impacts your city, your state, your country, right? So like when you vibrate, I feel like when you do what you love, you vibrate at your highest frequency.
Okay.
Period. When
Hmm.
you vibrate at your highest frequency, like people feel that,
Yeah.
and when they first meet you, they're like, yo, like, what's up, man? Like, what's up with you, dude? Like, you feel good, man. Your
Right.
energy is on. Like, and that's always beautiful to hear, and to be a part of it, because it's like, yo, like, I feel like I really am vibrating at my highest right now. And
Yeah.
and that's,
Hmm.
I couldn't have asked for
Yeah.
anything greater. So in terms of like what we're doing, we are building the economic ecosystem.
Okay.
We have our beautiful building right now. We just expanded. We got the building next door. We are turning that into the first ever multicultural dance studio the city has ever seen. So I don't know
That's
if you
awesome.
teach some classes, but if you're ready to get down, I know you're going. I know he's going to partake in some classes, but teaching, that might be another thing.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's different. That's different. That's different. That's awesome, bro. I love to
yeah.
hear that. And like, what do you see Anthem in like the near future?
Uh, in the near future, I see, because right now we have our building, and we're leasing it, and we just got the building next to us. We're leasing that. But in the near future, I see us like getting our plot of land, erecting our own building in full, and really showing, like, I'm using my current two buildings as like proof of concept. Like the ecosystem is here. Like we've already started developing it. Money is flowing. Everybody is starting to eat. Like this is great. Like this is perfect. This is exactly what we need. Not only is our own people able to eat, but like again, we gave $30,000 away to independent contractors last year. Again, we're going to be doing that plus a little bit more this year. So it's like, okay, how can we now for next year triple that? So that's our goal, is to really, once we build our own system, really increasing the number of money that's flowing through this city, but not like through just the city, but through the creators that are here. It's Olympic City, USA. So from what I know, the brand of this city is every industry that's in this city does it at an Olympic level.
There you go.
Olympic, a Paralympic, an Olympian, a Paralympian level.
Yep.
And because of that, like why would the creatives see themselves any different? Like I look at the musicians, the videographers, like I look at our team as the Olympians of music, the Olympians of the creative industry. We're in Olympic City. We breathe rare air,
Yeah.
And so it's like in that, like take pride in that. We work as hard as the Olympians do on what we do. So why not brand ourselves as that in the only city in America that does that?
Well said. Well freaking said, man. I love that. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
We have a lot to talk about, but that's a part two because his wife is. Oh man, this
Oh
is
man.
the Sharp gang. They go deep, so
Yeah.
we have to do. Wow.
Yeah, and
I feel.
I'm gonna brag on my wife, because my wife is incredible. She is
Yes,
everything.
she
I
is.
married up, like it.
For sure, he did.
She is incredible. She's beautiful. She's former Miss San Diego, Miss Philippines National, all the titles. She's a humanitarian winner. She's friggin' Red
Hmm.
Cross award, humanitarian award winner. Like she
Yes.
has the accolades. She has everything. She's beautiful inside and out. Um, She started a couple of businesses
Yes.
in the height of the pandemic. She calls them her business twins.
Hmm.
Through one of those, she actually just landed her very first $1 billion partner.
Wow.
And it's beautiful. The newsletters have already gone out. The press releases have already gone out this
Wow.
week, which is really special. So she's just killing it on a
I
whole
know.
nother level.
She's the
I'm
next guest.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to keep up.
Hmm.
Babe, slow down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the power couple right there.
she's doing some really incredible things, and
Hmm.
I think what's really special. Thank you for that. I don't know if power couple is the right term. We're gonna find
Some
something.
couple.
Yeah, some
Some.
couple. But I mean, the Sharp couple works too.
Yeah, right? He's all about branding. He probably already caught
All
it.
about branding.
Just
Um,
shirts are gonna come out next time you see him.
Yeah, right. But what I think what's really special is this month is September is approaching. September is my birthday month, and what's really cool, and I got to shout out my brother too. So my wife is July 8th, my brother is August 8th, I'm September 8th. So like we've been the three best friends like forever
Wow.
because like all of us 7/8, 8/8, 9/8 birthdays.
Yeah,
Um,
that's crazy.
so my birthday is approaching.
Yep, I'll be there.
And and
Wow.
um the we just man it's special. We just landed the front cover of a magazine.
Okay. Okay.
And
Shoot.
the issue just dropped like right in time for my birthday, so it's the September issue of the Garden of the Gods magazine.
Okay.
And we are on the front cover. We have a full spread.
Shoot.
It's so beautiful.
Okay.
One of my daughters is in it as well. Our dog
Yeah.
Saki made it.
Oh,
He's in his little butler outfit. Oh, it's we're in front of a castle. It felt like Vogue,
yeah.
man. It felt like
That's the
Vogue.
Colorado Vogue.
Yeah, and it looks like it. It's beautiful. It's
Man, can't wait
beautiful.
to see
So
that. So check it out. Pick it up.
yeah, pick it
100%.
up. Garden of the Gods magazine. It just
Hmm.
dropped. I think yesterday. I got the first message like, my friends are famous.
Shoot. Okay, that's tight,
I
man.
haven't
That's
heard
tight.
that, but
But
it's
thank you,
cool.
man. Honestly, Darius and I think just appreciate you for stopping by.
Yeah,
I mean, promoting our stuff because I
love
know.
it.
I hope you people when they listen to this interview, they get to know Terry Josiah at a deeper
Yeah,
level. They get to
yeah.
see what makes him tick. And next time, definitely we're gonna do a part two with the wife and the whole gang because
Yeah.
there's a lot of stories to tell in that sharp
Oh,
community.
so many.
And
Even how we met. That's a whole podcast
I
by
know that's
itself.
honestly. That's why I
Yeah.
didn't touch the wife on
Yeah.
purpose.
Yeah. Yeah.
I knew
Yeah.
once we do that, we gonna be here forever.
Forever.
So
We have a
honestly,
fun story,
yeah.
and I think that what makes our story so much fun is the people that are in it and a part of it.
Yeah.
And you outside of you're not a random. I don't do like random podcasts. Somebody asked me to just jump. You know what I mean? Like I have to understand who the person is.
Yeah.
And we have had rapport literally since we both moved out here around the
Honestly,
same time.
Yeah.
And
Honestly.
it's been beautiful to
Mhm.
grow with you, to see
Yeah.
your life evolve.
At the wedding, he was
And
killing it on the wedding on the dance floor. That was dope. If you actually see the video of my wedding, you'll see him just like
it
going
was
crazy.
a lot of fun
It
for
was
sure.
definitely.
But to even see your love blossom,
Oh
like
yeah,
that was so beautiful.
appreciate that.
So like I really consider, I don't say that I have a lot of friends, like
Yeah.
people that know me know I have a very close circle.
Mhm.
But Emmanuel is a person that I really consider
you.
a friend, and
Appreciate
I
that,
call
homie.
you my friend outside of in front of you. You know what I mean? Like,
Appreciate that. Oh, mic down. You just leave that boom in there.
that's a mic drop right there.
Mic drop for sure.
To call Emmanuel my homie, that's a mic drop. So it's just it's special to be a part of your journey, for you to be a part of
Thank you,
our
man.
journey, and
Appreciate that,
to
homie.
see you've seen me talk about building Anthem.
Yeah.
You've seen me like throw out random things. I'm gonna build a studio. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna help like elevate people's voices. Blah blah blah. I'm gonna bring the community together. And like again, I try to be I do my best to be a man of my word, and I feel like we've
respect
done
that.
a really good job of that. But like you're a testament to that. Like you've seen,
Yeah.
we gonna do shows. We're gonna have a crazy
I remember those
showcase. We're
conversations.
gonna do this. We're gonna do that.
I remember those. That's one of the things that just gravitated me to you because I've seen you say you say you'll do something, you do it, and the level that you're doing it. You're not just doing it like at a just like some cheap ghetto
Basic
level.
level. Yeah, for
You're
sure.
actually
For sure.
doing at a high level.
I
And
appreciate
I
that.
respect that. But honestly, I know you got a lot of things you gotta do, so we're just gonna end right here. Part two is
Part
definitely for
two
sure
is
coming
coming.
next.
And
Yes.
we're going to do it at Anthem Live Studios.
Yes.
So you can see exactly what we're talking about,
Mm-hmm.
what we've been talking about building from the beginning of this.
Mm-hmm.
And now, kind of like that'll be like a full circle moment.
It will be.
Yeah,
And I
because
honestly,
you'll be able to meet my wife on
yes.
camera,
Mm-hmm.
meet the team, see what we've been able to build, and see the building itself. So
It's amazing. I threw my party there, my
yeah,
30th
you
birthday.
did. Yeah, you
It was a
did.
lot of fun. So I know, and now I know it's way better than. I've seen pictures and I'm like, okay, they've definitely upgraded.
Yeah, we've done some good upgrades, and we're gonna
Yeah.
keep upgrading. That's the
Oh
goal.
yeah.
Is keep building, keep building, grow and
Awesome,
learn
man.
every day.
Thank you, man. Thank you all of you for listening and just joining this podcast. Please support Anthem Enterprises. We'll have links in the description, so make sure you go check it out. And before we leave, I want you to remember one thing. We all have a story. What's your story? Goodbye.